8 or 24?
Number 8. 24 was more challenging.
It's Monday, so that means 3 things. 1, I'm not your MCM. 2, it's a Mamba Monday. And 3, it's time for the 24 podcast. How are you guys doing? I'm your host, the product of poverty's environment, the Pope Chuck Paul. Man, what a crazy weekend it has been. I hope you guys enjoyed your week. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. First off, rest in peace. Takeoff of the Migos. He was shot and killed in Houston, Texas, November 1st. He was at a bowling alley with his Uncle Quavo, and apparently there was an argument or whatever. It was Quavo and Takeoff's crew there. Jazz Prince and Jay Prince Jr.'s crew was there. I guess they was shooting dice, they said. There was an argument. Quavo was arguing with somebody, they said. Takeoff was right next to him. Gun goes off, hits Takeoff in the head, and another shot from another direction hits Takeoff. There was another man shot, another woman shot. They both lived, but unfortunately, Takeoff did not survive. And it's sad, you got people talking about, oh, hip-hop is this, that, and the fourth. This has nothing to do with hip-hop. A lot of these murders and whatnot are just wrong place, wrong time, in bad areas, like even with the PNB Rock situation, it was just some wrong place, wrong time. Like, you got some dusty folks outside watching who's coming in and out of the establishment, and they just caught the drop on them. The situation with Takeoff is unfortunate because it's not like he was beefing with somebody. He was just happened to be there when beef broke out, so RIP to Takeoff. I know all said Quavo's feeling it right now. It's sad, man. It's sad. Gonna get this show going. We're gonna talk a lot about this Kyrie Irving situation, because this don't sit right with me. Because the man apologized twice on Instagram. He apologized in his interviews. But the problem was, he didn't do it the way they wanted to. They want him to say, I am sorry, I apologize, I denounced this whole movie and this, that, and the fourth. And I'm going to watch the movie later on this week. I'm going to watch it after I watch Black Panther, because I want to get the full experience, you know what I'm saying? It's 3 hours. I really doubt a lot of these sports analysts and these journalists actually watch the movie, because they keep retweeting and reposting the same lies. Because people who actually watched the movie, they told me that they said they didn't say the Holocaust didn't happen. They said the numbers are exaggerated. And something is, people didn't watch it when they keep reposting the same clip, the same image. But we're going to start from the beginning. Nash was fired. Ime Udoka might be hired. Now, you guys might have heard me say it a few times that the Nets should fire Steve Nash and hire Ime Udoka. Matter of fact, I said it on Facebook September 22nd of this year. Yeah. And that's pretty much what's going on right now. There are in talks. Last week they said the deal could be done within 24 to 48 hours from Nash's firing. But as of now, I believe Jacques Vaughn is still the interim head coach. And now there are people trying to get Joe Tsai to not hire Ime Udoka, which is crazy. I know Malika Andrews dry snatches salivating at the mouth right now like, yes, no job for him. And we're gonna get into some Ime Udoka stuff later that has to do with Jalen Rose, because that is funny. Because everybody's on a buck breaking apology tour. All the black folks in here apologizing. And now you know what happened between Kyrie Irving and reporter Nick Friedel. And there's some backstory. Nick Friedel was also one of the reporters who was going at Kyrie all last year about the vaccination. And which is crazy because Stephen A. admitted it twice that Kyrie Irving was right. That the law was stupid. The whole private sector thing. That people can visit the Garden and the Barclays Center unvaccinated, but the player can't. The player has to be vaccinated. Right now, New York City employees are getting their jobs back with back pay, or they're suing their former job right now. I honestly wonder if Kyrie can sue the Nets for back pay for missing those games. He actually could. I think he probably can. But that's what's going on in New York City right now. For those who don't know, who are still using that as an excuse to hate Kyrie. And it's funny because Kyrie was wearing a Mansa Musa hoodie in front of all these white journalists. And a lot of them probably don't know who Mansa Musa is, one of the richest black men who ever lived, you know. I'm sure Kyrie's pro-blackness was getting on their nerves when he was saying, I can't be anti-Semite when I know what I am. Meaning he is of Hebrew nationality as well, and he's a Semite. You know? People don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like that. There were a handful of Jewish, I don't know if they're young, we'll say young adults, courtside at the home game when the Bulls played the Nets with shirts that said fight anti-Semitism. And Kyrie definitely had a bad game. He shot only 12 shots, made 2 for 12, 4 points. Very un-Kyrie-like. You know he was distracted with the whole bullshit. You gotta think about it. Kyrie might be a lot of things, but if you go on his page, his social media, he's preaching nothing but love. Like, yo, love each other. Yo, if you see me in the street, don't just ask for a picture. Hold the conversation. Ask for a hug. Instead of for like, yo, he loves everybody, man. You know. And it's sad that they're putting this anti-Semitism and Nazi label on him. And I shared a video on my Instagram about how 1945, how they treat people who they can't control. They might call them a Nazi or anti-Semite because those type of words, they stick to you. You know, and people don't want to be around those type of folks. But some people don't even know how deep the definition is. It has nothing to do with hate speech or violence. It's more so criticism. You know? But it's not what this episode is about. It's about the unfair treatment of Kyrie Irving, that I believe he's being unfairly treated. And the folks sitting front row, Kyrie, he had said to them, hey, I'm grateful you guys are here, whatever. And it sounded like one of them said, you have to, or we have to, something snarky. I will play it right now. You can check it out right here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyrie.
Thank you. We have to. Thanks, Kyrie.
Yeah, so that was the clip of Kyrie interacting with the protesters and whatnot. The protesters who probably pay a good $5,000 each for those seats. So you know, I mean, they have the money. They have the money. But I don't want to be anti-Semite, just assuming they have money. I'm crazy. So, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, and Kyrie and the owner or the GM, I believe, agreed to donate $500K apiece to the ADL to help fight anti-Semitism and other forms of racism, blah, 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 blah. And then later on, I guess, they took it off the table, and then Kyrie was suspended for a minimum of 5 games. And then Nike suspended their contract. They didn't kill it, suspended it. I guess they're waiting for Kyrie to complete his NBA 2K Quest journal, because this is what they want Kyrie Irving to do before he can join the team. The Nets have delivered Kyrie Irving 6 items he must complete to return to team: apologize and condemn the movie, a $500K donation to anti-hate causes, sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training, meet with the ADL, Jewish leaders, and meet with Joe Tsai to demonstrate understanding. Now, Joe Tsai, he's a dirty, terrible motherfucker from what I've heard also, with his dealings with China. How he turns a blind eye to the mistreatment of his people and Muslims over there. But that's another story. His Twitter's getting flamed right now. He ain't shit. But anyway. Kyrie had first apologized on his Instagram and said, "I oppose all forms of hatred and oppression and stand strong with communities that are marginalized and impacted every day. I am aware of the negative impact of my post towards the Jewish community, and I take full responsibility. So from my family and I, we meant no harm to any one group, race, or religion of people, and wish to only be a beacon of truth and light." And then, matter of fact, that was his second apology, I believe. This was his first one. "I am an omnist, and I meant no disrespect to anyone's religious beliefs. The anti-Semitic label that is being pushed on me is not justified and does not reflect the reality of truth I live in every day. I embrace and want to learn from all walks of life and religions." So he made 2. And after he was suspended, he gave another apology. "While doing research on YHWH, I posted a documentary that contained some false anti-Semitic statements, narratives, and language that were untrue and offensive to the Jewish race, religion, and I take full accountability and responsibility for my actions. I'm grateful to have a big platform to share knowledge and want to move forward by having an open dialogue to learn more and grow from this. To all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected from my post, I am deeply sorry to have caused you pain, and I apologize. I initially reacted out of emotion to being unjustly labeled anti-Semitic, instead of focusing on the healing process of my Jewish brothers and sisters that were hurt from the hateful remarks made in the documentary. I want to clarify any confusion on where I stand fighting against anti-Semitism by apologizing for posting the documentary without context and a factual explanation outlining the specific beliefs in the documentary I agreed with and disagreed with. I had no intentions to disrespect any Jewish cultural history regarding the unfortunate event and hope we can find understanding between us all. I am no different than any other human being. I'm a seeker of truth, knowledge, and I know who I am." That was the last one. But he still has to do those 6 things where he has to meet with the ADL, Jewish leaders, Joe Tsai, and whatnot. And then I also read that they're hoping, they gave him all these things to do in hopes that he will not do it and end up leaving the team. I hope Kyrie goes in there and plays the movie for them. I think that's what they need to do. Sit there and watch it together. Hell, they made kids watch Roots. We have slave movies come out every other day. We have motherfuckers promoting the Jeffrey Dahmer movie, this white man eating and killing black people, and no one batted an eye. Nobody cared. But this shit. Sheesh. And Damon Wayans had a video. Well, it's a comedy bit he did several years ago, because you talk about the clothes several years ago. He has the what are those? I can't even describe the hat, but those Kangos, you know what I'm saying? He talked about how when a black person gets out of line, those people send their richest black folk to come talk shit about them and ask them questions and whatnot. I'm gonna play that for y'all real quick.
Too comfortable. Brothers can't afford to get too comfortable, you know? Because that's when you become the pawn. That's when they use you as. Anytime white people want to smooth some shit over, they go get that rich nigga and put you on TV.
Some people are conscious, some people are not. I can tell he's not conscious. He doesn't really care what's going on. But us, I know that you know, the game that we used to love and we promote, it brings people together. And it hurts me sometimes when we have to sit up here to talk about stuff that divides the game. Now we got to answer for what this idiot has done.
To represent the people, you know? You have you asking your questions like, Damon, now that you made this $13 million, and we're not counting. Now that you made all this money, let me ask you this. Let me just throw this out at you. You respond any way you want. Is there racism in America?
Chuck. I think he should have been suspended. I think Adam should have suspended him. First of all, Adam's Jewish. You can't take my $40 million and insult my religion.
You be sitting there thinking about that paycheck talking about.
I can't believe that we ain't talking about that. We're talking about this idiot.
No, sir. If and there is, I ain't seen none.
Talk about spot fucking on. Man. Crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Damon was spot on, man. He was spot on. And the crazy thing about that is Shaq owns a movie theater in Newark, and a church rented it out several years ago and showed this same documentary in his movie theater. And I posted about it, and folks were like, you act like Shaq knew what's being showed in his theater. If Kyrie Irving owned a movie theater and this same thing happened, they would be all on his ass saying the same thing. People pick and choose. And you know me, I'm all about equal slander. If you want to talk shit about this person, talk shit about this person for the same exact reason. That's just me. And I showed you 3 Kyrie apologies. And here's the thing about it. Also, I mentioned earlier about the Nets possibly hiring Ime Udoka. So Friday night, Jalen Rose, I believe it was Friday or Saturday, one of these days, Jalen Rose spoke about it on the air, and he was like, how come we don't know this woman's name yet? We know Ime Udoka's name, but we don't hear anything about the woman. Then in the commercial break, whew, they said, nah, nigga, walk that back. Jalen Rose read off a teleprompter and cleaned that shit up. They made that motherfucker apologize immediately. Immediately. Watch.
To piggyback on Stephen A's point about what Ime did, we know his name. Maybe I'm missing something as it relates to the law, but why we don't know her name? It's not like she's a minor. I feel like we should know her name publicly as well. But with that being said, I respectfully disagree with the legend Michael Wilbon. This is why. I feel like he deserves the opportunity to work again. And if he's going to work again,
I agree.
Based on that, and if the Nets, who he's familiar with.
Now, for the apology.
I'm Jalen Rose, and I would like to apologize for a comment I made earlier on NBA Countdown. I question why a woman's name who had an alleged affair with Celtics head coach Ime Udoka was not made public. After an internal investigation, and it was discovered that she was a subordinate to the head coach, I now understand fully why her name should not be released to the public. Now back to our NBA cover.
Man, oh man. And then on Sunday Football, they had James Brown do a whole PSA about anti-Semitism. Like, oh man. it's just funny to me because, like, in the history of sports, when there was a white player did some racist shit, they never made him do like a 5-step process to get reinstated. Cooper Riley got a damn contract extension. People talk about Myles Leonard not being in the league, but he used a whole slur. Excuse me. A whole slur. And it wasn't talked about like that. People say, well, he's not in the league. The point is, it wasn't dragged out like that. At all. Difference. Big difference. And then we had LeBron. They asked LeBron about it. He said Kyrie made some mistakes. Pretty much threw him under the bus and said, yeah, but he's a good guy. See, the way he should have answered that was, I know Kyrie has a good heart. He comes from a place of love. You know, he made a mistake. Hopefully he learns from it. That's it. You ain't got to throw your guy under the bus. You know what I'm saying? CJ McCollum was like, and mind you, Kyrie's a VP on the National Basketball Player Association League. Players Association. He's part of the NBPA, vice president. You got CJ like, yeah, you know, I was on the calls behind the scenes in the front. Obviously, Kyrie didn't watch the movie before he posted. Nah, he watched it. You don't know what's going on, apparently. You know, ain't too many folks coming to Kyrie's defense in the NBA. I forgot former Dallas Cowboy, Cole Beasley actually stuck up for Kyrie. He was like, yo, what exactly did he say? He was like, they want you to be you, but when you're you, they're upset. So shout out to Cole Beasley, man. But yeah, it's crazy times, man. I'm standing with Kyrie. You know my all during the pandemic. I was like, yo, Kyrie got fuck you money. He could do what he want. He ain't gotta play. You know, and lo and behold, he was right the whole time. He was all right. If you lived in New York City, you knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? But going on to bigger and better things. Drake and 21 Savage dropped their collab album, Her Loss. And let me tell you, 21, can you do something for me? Can you hit a little rich flex for me? Man, look. Bars. The next song, Major Distribution. The No BS, like, yo, they were going in like, but there's always some controversy with Drake on a song called, what's the shit called? Circo Loco? The Circo Loco? He says, this bitch lied about getting shots, but she's still a stallion. She don't even get the joke, but she's still smiling. Everyone thought he was talking about Meg Thee Stallion. She went on her tirade online. Motherfucking Scotty Beam. She gon' post. It's absolutely clear who niggas don't protect. And it's funny because if we called her a bitch, we would be wrong. But you want to call black men out of their name and call them niggas. Second of all, it wasn't about Meg. Third, ain't she a rapper? Rap back. Diss him or something. Jesus Christ. Like, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? On the song On BS, Drake goes, I blow $500,000 on you hoes. I'm a feminist. Now, he's not talking about feminists. Because he's talking about putting money on motherfuckers' head if you got beef with. Like, he was dropping bars. I think he also said I'm living for every 24 like Kobe did. Treacherous Twins, 21 says, I don't show ID at the club. They know I'm 21. Like, it's just little stuff like that. I'm like, all right, they really talking their shit on this album. I'll fuck with it, you know. And it's funny that Scotty Beam says we know who's not protecting us. Drake and 21 got a whole song talking about wilding out on dudes for their girl called Spin About You. I'm gonna read you some lyrics. He says, I gotta protect ya. I'm a made man, tied in all the way, baby. So I gotta respect ya. Niggas put hands on you in the past, insecure, because your body is precious. 4 words when I think about them is crusty, musty, dusty, rusty. What else he got? What else he got on there? Cause he did say something about slapping the dude for, you know what I'm saying, touching their chick. Oh, here we go. The way you make me feel these days, something getting dropped for you, baby girl. Smoke a nigga top for you, baby girl. Burn somebody block for you. The way you make me feel these days, come out my body for you, baby girl. Wipe him like he's snotty for you, baby girl. If that ain't protecting, talk about protecting a woman, I don't know what is. But you know people find things to get outraged about. But yeah, that album's fucking fire. I've always said this. I hate when Drake sings. But when he rap, man, look. He one of the best. Especially talking that fly nigga getting bitches shit. 21 stepped it up too. He definitely stepped it up. Oh, speaking of 21, it's funny because LeBron also was in the headlines some years ago for rapping a 21 Savage lyric when he said, "We get Jewish money, everything is kosher." And he wanted to apologize, and 21 apologized because saying Jews have a lot of money is anti-Semitic. A lot of you guys didn't know that. So if you ever said, "Yeah, I got my Jewish lawyer or my Jewish accountant," you're being anti-Semitic. If you didn't know that. So that's how broad the definition is. But yeah, I mean, I could jump into anti-Semitism while talking about Drake, because you know he's half Jewish. So yeah, it all works. You know, it all works. He threw a little shot at Kanye too. Said, you know, I met up with the ops for Jay Prince. But man, oh, it's a lot. Long episode. I like it like this. A lot of things to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I really dropped this shirt like 2-3 years ago. So if you guys still want to get it, you can get it at the motherfucking TKOMG shop. You know what I'm saying? Anti-Racist Social Club. Because we don't hate nobody. We're all about love, baby. Before I let go, Black Panther Wakanda Forever comes out this Friday. Y'all go check that out. I'm going to watch that. And then after that, I'm going to watch Hebrew to Negroes. Just to be able to have a educated dialogue with people I converse with it about. I mean, personally, my family is from Liberia, you know, I know that, but I do like learning different things about different cultures just to know about it and have conversations with motherfuckers who are into it. 'Cause, hey man, I got a bunch of conspiracy theory homies. Like me and my homies done had like the conversation about the world is flat before and stuff like that. But hey man, it's whatever. Whew. Like I always say, like, share, subscribe, comment. God is good. God is great. Thank God my paper straight. I am the Pope Chuck Paul. Peace out. Free Kyrie.